Hi everyone. Long vacation and I had to take a week off. I had so much stuff going on that you know I think that when you're doing art, it shouldn't be something that's really stressy. Just should be something that you can enjoy. So that's why I wasn't on this week. So here's the updated sponsor list, and I'd like to thank everyone that sponsored me in the month of December. Um, There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but I thought I would do something different. So, like the title says, I want to talk about encaustic. And there's many different ways to do that. As you can see, I made some things this morning on my computer, and because I know that a lot of people that watch my channel are people that don't have the drawing skills. Well, some of you do, but not everyone. And I think that if you don't have drawing skills, I think you should still be able to be an artist. So then what you do is you come up with different ways to express yourself, and this is an easy way to do that. Now, if you go to Pixabay, and I'll write that down. Okay, I'll write it down. It's just like this, and it's in many countries. www.pixabay. If you go there, you will find like thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures that you can use freely. You can use it to make art, and you're allowed to sell it. You don't have to credit the creator of the picture or the image. It's totally free, and I have a lot of things on there, and one of them is this. It's square, but I just shortened it in a little bit. But every single file, image that's on there, picture, whatever you want to call it, it's free to use in any way you want to use it. So if you want to make cards, if you would like to do something like this and put Merry Christmas on it or whatever, you can do that, and you don't have to credit the person that created it. And I'm a believer in sharing, that I do. I share a lot, but I believe that, if people don't have the skills to make something, they shouldn't be, blocked in so that they can't create art. So this way you can. Now, this one I just made up this morning. If you have a Photoshop, you can buy a really, really old program of Photoshop. It really doesn't matter. If you look around, I'm sure you'll find something like Photoshop 4 or something like that for maybe, $10. But it is an awesome program, and you can do so many things with it. You can import brushes. You can do this, the handwriting in the background. You have these brushes they call grunge that do all these, scratches and stuff. And if you just put that together, look what you get. It already looks beautiful. Now, this is another one where I put in a tree, and I put in a little bit of handwriting, a little bit of grass, the clouds, the sky. This one is just a simple brush that you can use. And even, you might even enjoy doing something in Photoshop, because after a while you can make your own brushes. So this is just something that you can make really easy. If you go on Google and you type in how to make a brush in Photoshop, it will just whiz you right through it, and it's so freaking easy. It's unbelievable. Now, this is the same one without a background, as you can see, so totally white. This is a little bit of color, the tree, and we have that one. Now, on the side here, I have my, it's a sort of a potty grill, what you put on the table when you want to have friends over and you put stuff on it. Let me see if I can show you. There it is. See that grill thing? There's one little tin of wax already warming up. But one of those grills, they cost like nothing. They are like, I don't know, I think I bought mine for 12 and a half. They are, the cheapest will do. The only thing that you want to, if you want to get into this type of art, the only thing that you have to watch out for is that you can put it on a very, very low heat, because that's what you want. You don't want it, you know, really hot, because then you'll burn all your wax, so you don't want to do that. So this is very low-key art, because you can put this on anything you come up with. Here is an example. This is just a piece of plywood. I don't know how you call it, but it's really thin wood, and I gessoed it. And the only thing difference between normal gesso and gesso for encaustic is that they put a little sand in it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. So there's a little bit of sand in there, you know, just to keep the wax on there. So any background thing will do. So you can do this on this type of wood. You could do it on MDF, because I'm already getting an MDF ready. Yeah, this one's ready. It's already dry. I've already gessoed it, the sides, not the back, but this is MDF. So you can see any single piece of stuff you have laying around, you can do it on. Now, the good thing is that if you go to one of those hobby shops, usually they have somewhere in the back in a corner, they have these pieces of wood that they can't do anything with anymore because it's too small. And you can get this really cheap. So just for a couple of dollars, you have like a stack that high and all these little pieces of wood, MDF, whatever you call it, and you can get that for almost next to nothing. Some companies even just give it away. So we're talking really doing art on a budget over here now today. So next thing, what you need is encaustic wax. And me being the person I am, of course I want to make my own. So I'll tell you how that works. You need this, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's real fun stuff. This is a sort of a resin in dry form. Now, it doesn't cost that much, and if you buy something like this, man, you can make gallons of wax. That is unreal. This is 500 grams. I've used, I think 100 grams, I'm not sure. But if you go online, and I don't want you to always just believe what I say, but you can go online and you can get yourself a recipe for making encaustic wax. They will tell you it's 8 parts beeswax, 1 part dammer, it's called. It's on there in a couple of languages, but I'll show you up close. There it is, dammer. And that's what you need to put in your beeswax, because otherwise it would be too soft, and as soon as the sun would hit it, it would be even more softer than that, and that would ruin your art. So you do need to, if you're going to make your own, you have to add some of this stuff. But on eBay, Amazon, whatever, they have already pre-made blocks of wax. Now, when you buy it online, this is what you see. You'll get something that looks like this. Now, I think this is pretty white, and sometimes it's pretty, but I sort of like the little bit of yellowed stuff. So I made my own, and this is what I made. This is my wax. And the thing is, you have an old ice cube tray. You mix it up in a pan, and when it's all ready, you just pour it in one of those ice trays. And then when it's dry, when it's cold, you can just flip it over and they all come out. And this is a nice amount of wax that you can put on your painting. So I'm gonna drop this one in that little tin that you just saw on the party grill. Now when it comes to color, because you're all thinking, okay, that's cool, but I like color. We all like color. So what you can use is this, the artist's oil pastels, but I'm pretty sure some of you will have some old oil paints. And I'm pretty sure that in your dollar stores, if you look, you'll find those little sets of those tiny little tubes of oil paint. They cost next to nothing. They are so cheap. I've seen sets for $2, and you have like, I don't know, 24 colors, but those are really tiny little tubes. Well, if you see those, those are perfect. But these are perfect too. As you can see, I have a whole scala of colors, and there's not a color that I don't have, so this really works. But what you do is you put this in with your normal wax, and then you put it on the painting. Now the best thing to have is good brushes, and of course because you want to layer, you're going to be layering your wax on here, so that's very important too. But you have to watch out that you don't buy the really synthetic stuff, because of the warmth of the wax. What happens is that you'll burn all your bristles off. And even with the real ones, you have that too, the problem of burning the bristles. I'm looking for the one I had used, but I can't find it. And often they use the broader ones like this. It's pretty soft. I haven't used it yet, because once you use it, it's totally full of wax. And you'll see that in a bit. I just had one here which I used. Oh yeah, here it is. Now let me get you in close. There we are. Maybe trying to get you in focus. There you are. And as you can see, the bristles are a little bit singed by the heat of the wax, and absolutely that does not come off. What you can do is just warm it up, and then, you know, you can use it again. So no problem at all there. Now, if you want to look at some art made with wax, I don't know if you know Alicia Tourney. I think because this is going to be a two-part video anyway, so I'm just explaining the basics here, so you can have a think about maybe you want to get into this. But when I come back with part 2, I will have her name, and you can go and look what she does. Amazing, amazing art. And what she uses is shellac. And shellac, this is why I love this medium so much, because when you use shellac, you put that on top of your painting. When you're almost ready, you put that on top. Then you come in with the burner, like we all know, our little burners. And then when you burn it, it creates cells. And that is so pretty, and it looks very organic, and it fits so nicely into the painting. But that's when you do flowers or landscapes or something like that. I might try and show you later on, but that will be in part 3, because I'm going to take you through the whole encaustic thing. Now online you can also buy ready-made wax colors, but then we're going into the a little bit more expensive stuff. Now this is all oil pastels. These are colors that I just bought, you know, loose in a shop. Sometimes they sell the sets. This one I think I ordered off eBay or something like that, because it was really cheap. But these are about 75 cents a piece, something like that. But if you're you don't need every single color in the book, because I think they have like 600 colors, so you don't need that. If you just have a little bit of basics, that's good to go. But these are the wax colors. So if you look online, you will absolutely find a company that makes these, and they are not that expensive either. But we're talking about, you know, this size of art, you know, like an A4. If you're going to go really, really large, of course, you'll be needing more of this stuff. But, you know, this goes a long way. As you can see, I've got a lot of colors in there, and that'll work. So let me put this all away. Another thing that you do, and I'll show you that later, because I think I'm going to be starting with just this, just something blank, because what you do, you build up the layers, and you can make it as pretty as you want. See, what I was thinking, I'm going to be doing this one, so I'm going to be taking this out. I'm going to tear it off, because as soon as I put a layer of wax on my board and put this in the wax, you'll see that the white paper will just sink in and you won't even see it. All you'll see is these black little plants. Now, the good thing is when it's dry, I keep saying dry, but when it's cold and when it's hardened, then I can come in with all types of tools and make beautiful things on top. And now this is a little difficult to imagine, but I think I'll show you later and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Because when you build it up and you have this wax layer, you can put something on here, and you can take a pointy knife or something. What I use is something else. And that's also eBay, one of these. Don't know what they use it for, but there's a, see the sharp point? Now, if I were to pull that over like that, and you can hear that I'm pushing it in, you're pushing the wax away, and you're creating these crevices. And if you put color in there, so say we were to put in like something like if I did this, it would sort of look like a little bit of grass. So I'd put a really light brown in there and just rub it in, then come back with something like this. Everyone can find something like this in a hardware store. They cost next to nothing. Then you can just scrape over it again, and in the crevices will be this different color. Then you come back with a layer of wax again, and it's totally sealed, and it's there forever. So that's kind of cool. And you can do that with, I'm trying to trigger your your artistic mind. Let me get the other things I like to use. This is another thing that you can use. Now, if you are a little old or older, this is used for leather work. You know, when they go over it like that and they can stitch those really neat stitches. But if you are like me, you might also have one of these in your sewing kit, because this is also used to get the patterns out of a book or out of one of those big patterns, and you go along your own size and you can take it out. So maybe you have one of these in your sewing box, who knows. So, but just to give you an idea of everything that you can use to manipulate this wax, and you know, a whole world opens up once you start this, because I'm just showing you that you can embed images in the wax. But you don't have to do that. You can just start from scratch and use all kinds of colors. You can drip colors on there. You can come back in with your burner. You can embed leaves or pieces of grass, pieces of string, little pieces of metal that you like, whatever. You can put everything in that wax. So if you're triggered to do this, I would suggest that you go to Pinterest, and Pinterest, you can look for encaustic art, and you will see so many things that will blow your mind. And I'm pretty sure that you'll think, wow, I gotta do that. Okay, so this is the intro. I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna set everything up, and I'm gonna do just a little, maybe I'll do the little square. Yeah, I think I'll do this one. And I'll just, you know, show you how I take this out to put on there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to see you guys in part 2, and I hope I gave you something to think about, because this sort of art is very low in cost. You can make it as cheap as you want. You don't need all the fancy stuff. You can start with really cheap brushes, whatever. One of those party grills is good to go. This is going to be fun. So see you in part 2 in a bit. Love you all to pieces. Liebe euch alle. Bye bye.